Hello students. Today let's start our session 2 of our first chapter integers. So let's start with a new topic, that is properties of addition. So let's discuss about the first property of addition, that is the closure property. What do you mean by closure property? This property means that if we add any two integers, the answer will be again an integer. Means, suppose if there are in general a and b, two integers are there with you. So if we add a and b, the answer of a plus b will also be equal to an integer only. Let us discuss the example here. Now suppose if you have two integers plus 5 and minus 2. One is positive integer, one is negative integer, and we have to add both the integers. So plus 5 and minus 2 will become plus 3. So plus 3 is a result of the sum of these two integers. So it is again an integer. Let us discuss another example. One integer is minus 26 and the other integer is minus 19. Both the integers are negative here. When we are going to add the two integers, the answer, when both the integers are negative, as you all know, we have to add both the integers. So minus 26 and minus 19 is minus 45, which is again an integer. So when we add the two integers, their answer will be an integer only. This is known as the closure property of addition of integers. Let us now discuss about the next property, that is commutative property. What do you mean by commutative property? In general, if we talk about it, it means that if there are two integers, suppose a and b, so a plus b is equal to b plus a. If you will change the order of the two integers, still his answer will remain same. For example, let us consider the first example. If we have plus 7 plus 8, so plus 7 plus 8 is equal to 15, and if we change the order of the two integers, then plus 8 plus 7 will also be equal to 15. So it doesn't matter whether we write a plus b or b plus a. This property is known as commutative property. Let us discuss about the second example. If you have minus 4 and plus 3, so minus 4 plus 3 is equal to minus 1. And if we change the order of these two integers, then 3 plus minus 4 is also equal to minus 1. So whenever we change the order of the two integers but the answer remains the same, it is called commutative property of addition of integers. Let us discuss about the third property of addition of integers. The third property of addition of integers is associative property. Now what do you mean by associative property? Earlier we studied about commutative property. Basically commutative property is associated with two integers, like a plus b is equal to b plus a. But associative property is related to three integers. When there are three types of integers, suppose a, b and c. We have three types of integers and we have to add the three integers in the manner like first we add b plus c and the answer is added to a, or if we add a plus b first and the answer is added to c then. So like this is called the associative property of addition of integers. Let us consider the first example. If there are three integers, suppose minus 2, plus 5 and plus 3, and we are adding in the way like we are adding first b5 and 3 first, and the answer is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8, and then 8 is added to minus 2. 8 is added to minus 2 then. So 8 minus 2 will become plus 6. Now let us change the way of addition here. First of all, we are adding minus 2 and plus 5. So minus 2 plus 5 is plus 3. Then plus 3, answer of these two integers is added to the third integer. Plus 3 will become 6. So plus 3 will become 6 here. So the way we are adding, it depends. And both the ways are equal. In any of the way we add the integers, the answer will remain always same. So answer of both the patterns is equal to 6 only. So this is called associative property of addition. Now let us discuss about additive identity. Earlier we studied about additive inverse. What is additive inverse? If you have any positive number with you, then its negative number, negative of that same number is the additive inverse. Like if you have plus 2 with you, then minus 2 will become the additive inverse. And if you have minus 2 with you, then simply plus 2 will become the additive inverse. Now we are talking here about the additive identity. Who is maintaining this identity here? If we have any number with us like plus 2, and if we want plus 2 remain as plus 2 only, so plus 2 we need to remain it like that only, so we have to add 0 to it. So means plus 2 plus 0, the answer will be plus 2 only. So its identity is maintained. Similarly, if you have minus 7 here, and if we are adding 0 to it, then answer will be minus 7 only. So identity is maintained. So what is the additive identity here? So additive identity is 0 here, because by adding 0 to any integer, its identity will remain same. Now this is the case of additive inverse. As we have discussed earlier, that additive inverse is nothing but simply we have to change the sign of any integer. Like if we have plus 3 with us, then minus 3 will become its additive inverse. So when we add the two integers plus 3 and minus 3, then answer will be 0 here. And what is 0? 0 is the additive identity here. So similarly, if you add any integer to its additive inverse, the answer will be 0, and 0 is the additive identity. Now let us discuss about the properties of subtraction of integers. Same are the properties here also, but in a different manner. Like first of all, let us discuss about the closure property. As you all know, what is closure property? That when we subtract the two integers, its result will also be an integer. So if you have two integers, suppose a and b are the two integers, and we are going to subtract the two integers, then answer will also be an integer. For example, let us discuss the first example. If you have plus 5 and plus 3, now you have to subtract the two integers, plus 5 and plus 3. You have to subtract, then answer will be plus 2, and plus 2 is also an integer. Similarly, in the second example, you can see that minus 7 is there and plus 3 is there. So minus 7 and plus 3, you have to subtract these two integers. So minus 7 minus plus 3, minus plus will become minus. So minus 7 minus 3 is minus 10. So when you are going to subtract the two integers, its answer will also be an integer. This is called the closure property of subtraction of integers. Now next property is commutative property again. Now as you all know, in addition of integers, a plus b is equal to b plus a. When you are changing the order, but the answer remains same. But in subtraction of integers, if you have two general integers like a and b, and you are subtracting the two, like a minus b you are doing, and then you are doing b minus a, do you think the answer will remain same? No. So the subtraction of integers is not commutative. Let us discuss some examples here. Our first example is plus 4 and minus 3 are the two integers. Now plus 4 minus 3. So minus minus will become plus. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Now if we are changing the order of these two integers, then minus 3 will come first and then minus 4 will come. So minus 3 minus 4 will become minus 7. And as you can see, when we are changing the order of the two integers, the answer is not same. In the first part, the answer is plus 7, and in the second part, answer is minus 7. Means when we are subtracting the two integers, a minus b and b minus a, the answer will not remain same. So subtraction of integers is not commutative. Similarly, we will discuss now the associative property of subtraction of integers. In this, as you all know that there are three types of integers, and you can see on the screen also that three integers are a, b and c. Here what we are doing, in the left hand side we are doing a minus b first, and the result is subtracted, means the third integer is subtracted from the result. Like, let us consider the first example here. Three integers here are minus 2, plus 5 and minus 3. So what we are doing, first of all, our first integer is minus 2. We are putting it separate and we are considering the other two integers in a single bracket. So first of all, we have to solve that bracket. Means 5 minus 3 will become 2. Now the result of this bracket is 2. Now we will subtract this result from the first integer, like minus 2 minus 2 will become minus 4. Now let us change the pattern. Let us change the way of solving it. Now first integer is minus 2 and the second integer is plus 5. First of all, we will subtract these two. So minus 2 and minus 5 will become minus 7. Now let us subtract the third integer from this bracket. So minus 7 minus 3 will become minus 10. Now what we have done, we have just changed the way of solving. In the first part, we solved the second and third integer first, and then the result was subtracted from the first integer. But in the second case, we solve the first and second integer first, and then the third integer is subtracted from that result. In both the cases, you can see the answers are different. This means that subtraction of integers is not at all associative. Means this is not meant for three types of integers. Now let us start with the property of 0. What is 0? As you all must remember about 0, that 0 was the additive identity. Whenever we add 0 to any integer, the identity of that integer is maintained. It is not changed. Similarly, here also, if we subtract 0 from any integer, its identity is maintained here also. Like minus 5 minus 0 will remain minus 5 only. So identity is maintained. Again, it is called the property of 0 in case of subtraction of integers. Here are the few examples given. In first example, we have to subtract 10 from minus 4. Means we are subtracting 10 from minus 4 means we have to put minus 4 in front. And minus 4 minus 10. We have to subtract 10, na? So minus 4 minus 10 will become minus 14. Similarly, in the second example, we have to subtract minus 15 from minus 33. So minus 33 will come first. So minus 33 minus minus 15. So in the center you can see that there are two negative signs. So minus minus will become plus. So minus 33 plus 15 is minus 18. Now let us come to the third example, that the maximum temperature of a particular place on Saturday is 45 degree. The temperature dropped. Now we are talking about the dropping of temperature. Whenever we will talk about the dropping of temperature, we have to consider it as a negative sign, negative integer, like it is dropped by 4 degrees. So we will consider it as it is dropped by minus 4 degree, and further dropped on Monday by 3 degree. So further it is again dropped by minus 3 degree. So how we are going to solve this question? So maximum temperature is 45 degree on Saturday, and on Sunday it dropped by minus 4 degrees. So 45 degree minus 4 degree will become 41 degree, and again on Monday it is dropped by 3 degrees. So temperature on Monday will become 41 degree minus 3 degree, that is 38 degree Celsius. Now in the fourth example, you can see that we have to solve these integers using the suitable property. Wherever we use the word suitable property, now there we have to adjust the integers accordingly, like just to make the calculation easy. If you can see here, what you can observe, like minus 98, if we pair with minus 2, it will become minus 100, and if we pair 14 with 86, it will become plus 100. So we have to pair them like that only, so that our calculation becomes easy. So 14 plus 86 is plus 100, and minus 98 minus 2 is minus 100. When we add the both, our answer will be 0. So this makes our calculation very easy. By arranging the integers, means we are using the property here. And which type of property is used here? It is commutative property, because whatever order we are means putting the integers in, doesn't matter, our answer will remain same only. Let us see one more example here. Write down a pair of integers whose sum is minus 3. Now here you have to take any two integers whose sum becomes equal to minus 3. Like I have given one solution here. Let us take minus 1 and minus 2, and when we will add the two integers, its answer will be minus 3. You can take any other example. Now in the B part, write down a pair of integers whose difference is minus 5. Now I have taken here minus 9 and minus 4, and we have to subtract, means we have to find the difference of these two. So minus 9 minus minus 4 will become plus 4. So minus 9 plus 4 is minus 5. You can take any other example as well. Now similarly in the C part, difference is 2. So choose any two such type of integers whose difference is 2. Similarly in the last part, we have to choose such type of integers where the sum is 0. So it is very easy to choose. Like if we take plus 2 and if we take minus 2, its sum is always 0. So consider the additive inverse of any number and just add the both the integers, and the answer will become 0. Let's recapitulate now. Whatever we have studied today is number 1, properties of addition of integers. Number 2, properties of subtraction of integer. In these two types of properties, we have covered closure property, commutative property, associative property, additive inverse, additive identity, and property of 0. Now, based on these points, we have to do some practice questions.